beliefs and different things. And as far as I am concerned, I would like to ask you a very direct questions, and I would like to have very direct answers from you. Mr. Saab, according to the Ahmadiyya belief, do you think that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, late Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Sahab, was a prophet?
I'll answer that question, but permit me before that to rectify the first question or the background of the question. You started with the postulation that there is a difference on doctrinal or other important readings of faith. Why not do it from here instead of checking? Okay. Yes, please.
Yes, Mr. With due respect to you, can we substantiate this claim with the Quranic ayah or ayat in which directly Allah has said that prophets will come after the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Subordinate prophets, as I have explained, please.
No, I mean with the
not independent prophets.
With the direct reference with Mirza Ghulam Ahmad.
Of course, I'll give you references, but please bear with me.
Yes, certainly.
And first, let me again clarify the point. You cannot attribute a claim to a person who has never made that claim. So stick to the claim that he has made. He says he is that reformer which was promised, and according to the Holy Quran and according to the traditions of the Holy Prophet, the status of that reformer is that of a subordinate prophet. This is the claim. And that I can substantiate.
Yes,
one second, if I may. In other words, he did not claim that he is, or that he is a prophet?
Independent prophet, on his own authority, he never claimed.
Okay, I have here a quotation, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, please.
Which was published, I understand, in Akhbar Am of May 23, 1908, in which he is supposed to have said, I am a prophet under a divine decree. I shall be a sinner if I disclaim it. And when God calls me a prophet, how can I deny it? I will stick to it to my last breath.
That is correct. Absolutely correct. This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
He claimed that prophet, and he has spoken a lot on this subject from various angles. At places he denied the charges of claim to the prophethood, specifying that when you refer to me as a claimant to prophecy, independent of the Holy Prophet of Islam, that is not what I claim. So I decry such a claim. If you refer to me as a claimant to a prophecy subordinate to the prophecy of the Holy Prophet and his message, that is, I have not come to change a jot of the Holy Quran, I have not come to change a jot of the word of the Holy Prophet or an iota of his traditions, his conduct, his practices, and I believe them to be everlasting till the end of the day. Within the four walls of this fundamental claim, I am appointed by God directly to lead the Ummah, and as such I am automatically a prophet because of all the reformers, those who are commissioned by God and who are to be believed in by a people to whom he addresses. He is a prophet. In this definition, he claimed to be a prophet and repeatedly said, as such God has named me a prophet. Now, as far as the substantiation of his claim is concerned, on the basis of the Holy Quran, he, among other things, he referred to a well-known verse which occurs in Surah An-Nisa, which reads, وَمَنْ يُطَعِ اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ من النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين وحسن أولئك رفيقا. Meaning, of course you know the meaning, but let me explain for those who don't understand Arabic. مَن يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولَ, whoever obeys, not just believes in, obeys Allah and the Prophet, not any other Prophet. Specifically, the Holy Prophet is mentioned and referred to as the Prophet. Ar-Rasul. What would happen to him? Is it a crime he has committed, or is it a great service he has rendered and earns Allah's pleasure? The second is the case which is further explained. أُولَٰئِكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ. Only these would be among the people who earn Allah's favor to the extent that God would bestow rewards on them. Al-Inam. Now, this is a very important part of the verse because it excludes the rest from being recipient of that reward. Ulaika is al-hasr. Here it is used as a hasr. The declaration is that from now on, after the appearance of the Holy Prophet of Islam, all the rewards which have ever been shown by God to man are limited only to those who obey Allah and this Prophet. Now, what are those rewards? The list begins from here. Minan Nabiyyin, was Siddiqina, was Shuhadai, was Salihina, wa Hasuna Ulaika Rafiqa. There are only 4 rewards known to those who understand the terminology of the Holy Quran. Religious awards or rewards, whatever you may call it. And the first one among them is An-Nabiyyin. The second, As-Siddiqeen. Then Shuhada wa Salihin. So the founder of Ahmadiyya referred to this verse and said, particularly bring to focus of your attention the first condition laid down for these awards, which is you have to be a subservient to the Holy Prophet. Without being a total, without having submitted yourself completely to this Prophet, you can't earn even the lowest of awards, not to mention the highest. But if you rise in your devotion, in your dedication to him, and in your compliance with his way of life, then no reward or award is forbidden to you. So if you become a Saleh, you will be a Saleh who is a servant of the Holy Prophet of Islam. So will you be a Shaheed only after his appearance if you are a servant to the Holy Prophet. So also you will become Siddiq, but with this condition in mind, and so you can be one of the Nabiyyin under him, not free or independent of him. Now this explanation of the Holy Founder of Ahmadiyya is fully substantiated by the earlier scholars of Islam.
Those who disbelieve that he is not a prophet.
Thank you for asking this question, which has been so many times asked of me and many Ahmadis, so that the issue is emotionalized rather than discussed straightforwardly. You know, this question always tends to retaliate and create retaliation. If I say kafir, or you call me kafir, you are the kafir, and this and that. I mean, these things must not be emotionalized. You should consider them with a cool temperament like adult people. What would be the status of that person? Let me ask you, who, if Imam Mahdi comes, denies him and refuses to believe in him and calls him a kafir, calls him the one who is attributing things to God falsely, what would be the status of that person in your opinion? First tell me. And the one who is attributing things to God falsely, what would be the status of that person in your opinion? First tell me.
No, I guess instead of asking me, I want to know from you what.
The same is my answer as you are going to give me. Because I hold him to be that Mahdi who has come. So anybody, and you know, if you search your own hearts, you know, and this I have asked of other scholars of Islam, and they have been most straightforward to me in answering this question. They always tell me, we don't believe in Mirza Ghulam Ahmad to be the Mahdi, okay. But whenever the Mahdi comes, whoever refuses to believe in him, not to mention indulging in invectives and calling him bad names and all that, he will become a kafir of al-Imam Mahdi. And as such, virtually, he will be considered as a kafir. So the answer is, if he is the Imam Mahdi, this is my answer. And I believe him to be the Imam Mahdi. Truly and honestly.
Let me go ahead with
Yes.
the assumption.
That's
If-
coming back to the same.
If Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, late Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, is Imam Mahdi, according to the ahadith that I was going through last night,
Yes, please.
it is said that Imam Mahdi will come in Damascus. And how come Imam Mahdi can come in Rabwa?
Can you quote that hadith, please?
Of course, you have Tafhim al-Quran.
No, I don't. And
It is in Tafhim
instead
al-Quran,
of,
there are few hadiths.
Well, I mean, that is the question. Let me point out. You see, there is a book published on the question of Imam Mahdi lately. It says Al-Mahdi wal-Mahdawiyin. It's a book of that size. I've got it. You read it from the first page to the end. Thousands of traditions have been attributed to the Holy Prophet regarding how the Mahdi would appear, what would be his signs, how you can recognize him. And most of them are contradictory to each other. There is so much said on this. Some say he will be a Fatimi, some say no, he will be born in Zubair, some say he will go to a ghar called Antakya and would reappear from there, and so on and so forth. No, just a moment.
let me.
Just a minute. Let me first finish this.
Let him finish. I have a question.
Yes, follow it up. Please wait, have patience with me. When you ask a question, my answer has to be longer than the question itself.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. So, what is the criterion for judging these different traditions and basing our faith on them? Because if we make a wrong choice, we'll be making a wrong choice for the Mahdi as well. So it's a very essential matter which has to be dealt with first with a cool-headed approach. Since if you consider it to be wrong, you correct me, please. I believe that any tradition of the Holy Prophet which speaks of such signs as is beyond human beings to interfere with, which do not belong to the power of man to change, to alter, to interfere with. If such a tradition comes to be fulfilled, it has to be relied upon. But and also, if the tradition is of a nature which cannot happen accidentally, if things spoken of in a tradition can happen accidentally, they cannot be a distinctive sign or distinctive feature.
The interpretation of the Quran has divided us. I suppose if we take the Quran as it is, we would not have this.
My dear friend, without interpretation you can't understand anything. Without interpretation,
Quran take as it is. That's it.
What I mean-
In Jannah it is said.
it's impossible. The Holy Quran uses terms, spiritual terms, religious terms. It says, bring your parents under the benign wing of your mercy. Now, how can you translate wing? How can bring your parents under the benign wing? Where is that wing? There are terminologies and terminologies which have to be
Just like
understood.
muhkamat are there, and as it is.
I've already spoken on this subject at length. If you are interested, I can provide you with the cassette of that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.